Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our session of Maximise Your Membership. This is designed so that you get a little understanding of what your membership involves and how to make the best of what the benefits you have access to. And we've got a panel of experts to guide you and help you along. My name is Vanessa Gale, Ness, and I'll be your host today, but we've also got a panel of experts who will introduce themselves shortly. And we've also got Beth Dole, who's going to be doing all the background and putting all the magic together with the sharing screens and things like that, which is fantastic. So a couple of housekeeping points. There'll be no chat box today, so you can't put any comments in the chat. But we do have the Q&A box activated, which is, you should see that at the bottom of your screen. And we ask if you put any questions into the Q&A box. We won't answer them as we go along, but we will answer them at the end of the session, where we'll leave about 15 minutes to go through all of your questions. We are recording the session, so you don't have to take notes if you don't want to. And after the session, I'll send the recording out to everybody. And also any links that we mention, I'll add to the email so that you're able to access anything that we've mentioned. But feel free to take notes if you want to, but that's just to let you know that you don't have to. We have had a request to show the captions and the transcript, so we'll put that on as well, so that that makes it easier if you can't hear us very well or if anything happens during the session. Okay, right. I think that's everything. So I'll just introduce you very briefly to our panelists. We've got James Cordiner, who is from Markel Tax. James, just tell us what you do for the FSB briefly.
Yeah, hi Ness, and good afternoon, everyone. So I'm an ex-inspector of taxes, but please don't turn off immediately. I moved over from the dark side just over 20 years ago, actually, and joined Markel then. So we've got a long-standing relationship with FSB and have been assisting FSB members in many ways for more than 25 years. And I'll speak a little bit more about what my team does when it comes to my time on the session today. That's probably enough for now, Ness. Thank you.
Thanks very much, James. We've got Sam Holliday, who is a development manager. Sam, tell us a little bit about you.
Yes, thanks, Ness, and hello, everybody. I think it's the last day we can say Happy New Year, so I'll say it. Happy New Year, everyone. Yes, I'm a development manager. That means I'm one of the FSB staff members. I've got my own little patch down here in the southwest, but there's people who do my job everywhere in the country. So we'll tell you a little bit about what we do and why we need to know what you're thinking, because we like to be the bridge between you and the people that can make a difference to business. So I'll tell you a bit more about that in a little while. But in the meantime, thank you, Ness. Sam Holliday, Development Manager.
Lovely. Thanks, Sam. We've got Katie Fremantle, and she is the Managing Director of FSB Insurance Service. Sorry, Katie.
No, not at all. Hello, everyone. Lovely to be on here to join you all. So FSB Insurance Service was created by FSB back in 2018 to provide an advice and brokerage service for its members, generally to assist with all of the insurance queries that we have for the commercial side of things, so for business insurance. And I'll take you through all of the registration benefits and details later.
Lovely. Thank you, Katie. Rajan, a little bit about you, please.
Hi there, everyone. My name is Rajan Naran. I'm the Regional Sales Manager for London and the Southwest of England. I will explain a little bit more about myself a bit later, but I'm here to really help and give you some highlights on some of the products and services and benefits that are available for yourselves. But my main role is very similar to Sam's, in that I'm an employee and I really look after the membership advisors across those two regions. Thanks very much, Ness.
Thanks, Rajan. Beth, do you want to say hello quickly?
Hi, I'm Beth. I'm Operational Support Coordinator, like Ness. So we do quite a lot of like events and kind of just member support for the areas that we cover. So I cover like Hampshire, Dorset, Isle of Wight, Somerset, Wiltshire. Ness covers Devon Cornwall, and yeah, we're here to kind of be there for the members and support with the events like today for those regions.
Lovely. Thank you very much. Okay, well, hopefully between us, we'll be able to answer any questions that you may have. So as soon as you've got a comment or a question, do pop it in the Q&A box, and we'll get back to those later. But first of all, without any further ado, we'll go straight to Rajan, who is going to tell you a bit about all the benefits that we have.
Thanks very much, Ness. I really appreciate that. So really, in a nutshell, you've done the hardest bit, guys. You've joined the Federation. You've got all of these benefits that are there. Sometimes it's a minefield, so I thought I would highlight a couple of the newer ones that we've had come in that you may not have heard of or you haven't really access into. First one is Till by NatWest, which is our new merchant partner. So we're able to offer preferential rates with regards to any of the merchant services that you use. So whether it's a handheld, an app, or a phone, that to access that, it's via your legal hub itself. Another one that we've got that's been very, very popular of recent is healthcare. The healthcare is where you have an online GP. So as I'm sure most of you have had the experience of waiting days and weeks for a doctor's appointment, you can book in with a doctor at a specific time within 24 hours, which means that you're actually seeing someone on a virtual. They're able to prescribe you a prescription. You're able to get a printout, go to the pharmacy, and obviously get that done. So making sure that yourself and your staff members are in good health is always going to be beneficial. Another one that is probably quite poignant at this moment is all the changes in regards to employment laws. As I'm sure everyone's heard since summer of last year, there's a load of changes coming into play. FSB are really, really well matched at this moment in time. So any of the content, any of the information with regard to what's changing is on the FSB website. As we get announcements and updates from government, we'll be able to actually put those over as well. One other one maybe that you haven't thought of or people haven't thought of using is FSB training. That's CPD courses, so they're all qualified registered courses. They start from £80 per employee per year to be able to access in excess of 700 courses. So whether it's a case you're looking to maintain compliancy and get forklift training done, or if it's a case that you're looking to upskill people, you've got Excel, you've got Word, you've got PowerPoint, how to do bookkeeping, all of these things in there. So these courses are built for you as business owners to be able to look after, retain, and upskill your staff, which means that you're going to be able to grow going forward. I think that's a nice little mix to get everyone thinking about. We've got lots to talk about already. I think I'm back in a little bit later and I'll happily do a little bit of a guided tour of the legal hub. But with that, I will pass it back to Ness.
Thanks, Rajan. That's great. A nice little taster of what we offer, and a teaser about coming back later and talking about our legal hub and the guides and the support that we offer on our website and everything. So that would be great. Healthcare, it sounds like a great benefit, and that's fairly new, isn't it?
It is very new. It's £39 for a membership for a member to access into. So it's on preferential rates. What it also has in there, I've just mentioned the GP side, but it's got a whole load of physiotherapy that's applicable, dental care. The other parts of it, however, is discounts. So if you're a Morrison's or a Tesco's or a Sainsbury's shopper, you'll actually be able to get cash back on that. So you can almost get a 5% discount on your monthly or weekly shop. So again, it's a way. What we try and do with the membership is not only offer the benefit as a whole, but try and get something that's going to be able to give you a return on your investment as well. So give you that money back in your pocket. So something that's very, very popular at this moment, Ness, we're getting the applications coming through thick and fast at the moment.
Yeah, I can see why. And that's not £39 a month, is it? It's £39 a whole year.
Correct. Exactly that. What you also get with that is you're also able to add your spouse. So if you're a member, you can actually add your spouse as someone that can actually get the support as well. I actually used it on the other side of Christmas. Wasn't feeling too great. Called the doctors who said, you know, go to this clinic and that clinic, walk-in clinic. I'm actually, my wife's a member, so I actually tried it through her app. I got a doctor. I put the request in at 11. I had the appointment at 2:30, which was online.
Oh,
I was back at home with a prescription, taking all the things that were needed. So really quick, very, very fast. And I just found it really, really easy to do. So
yeah,
definitely something, especially in this day and age, we've got to look after our health. We are without health, there is no other benefit, you know?
yeah, absolutely. And I mean, with that saving on shopping and stuff, by after a little while, it'll have paid for itself, won't it?
Exactly that, you know, at the end of the day, you know, it's a very popular thing about cashbacks. You'll
Yeah,
see with the FSB website, bank accounts, there's certain ones that give you cashback as well. So it is something that's very, very common. But this way, it just ties you up, which means, guess what? You're going to be shopping there anyway. Why
yes,
not earn 5% off it?
yeah,
Makes a difference on a £100 shop for sure.
yeah. And after a while, you'll have probably paid for your membership. So,
Exactly that. And that's
yeah,
just by one of the, you know, the over 20 different benefits that we look for, that we can not only help you, but also be able to give you some sort of return on the investment. So as you said, if it's paying for your membership, then that's a win-win all around, surely.
absolutely. Brilliant. Thank you very much. And we look forward to hearing from you again later. Okay, right. Well, we're going to turn now to James Cordiner, and he's going to tell us about the FSB. What are you going to tell us about, James?
Right, thanks, Ned.
Tax investigations.
That's right. Exciting subject of tax investigations. Yeah, so I mentioned briefly in the intro, I used to be an inspector of taxes many years ago. I'm now tax investigations manager at Markel. That also encompasses VAT issues and VAT disputes as well, which is part of my team, and when the consultant team deals with that. So in the time that I've got, I'm going to speak about the member benefit, tax investigation protection. Also going to cover some topical issues that we've seen recently, which hopefully will be useful for those on the call today as well. I've spent my whole life in tax, so we've got that level of experience, and we know how stressful an inquiry from HMRC can be. When you're running a business. So it's one of the key member benefits to have the tax investigation protection through your FSB membership. As I say, we know it can be stressful, it can also be very time consuming. It's generally not a quick process. In our experience, the average length of a tax inquiry is about 18 months. It can be shorter, but it can also be a lot longer. It depends on the circumstances. So I just want to cover some of the key elements of the tax investigations cover that you get via your FSB membership. First thing is, it's a representational scheme. Once your claim's accepted, it will be one of my team that you're dealing with that will represent you, front up the inquiry or dispute with HMRC. Will be the point of contact. That's something that that's always been there. We've got that experience, say, having been there and done it on HMRC's side. So it's really important to have that right representation with HMRC. We always take a very honest, objective approach to the work that we do. We're always basing everything that we're looking at on the facts of your particular case, make sure that they're presented to HMRC in the right way. And ultimately, we're looking to achieve the best possible outcome in the circumstances for you. Our role is really to minimise the impact of any inquiry on you and your business as much as we possibly can. Take that pressure away. We are that buffer between you and HMRC. We'll always provide a robust defence where this is needed. And ultimately, we want to ensure that you're only paying the right tax that's due in relation to your business income and not anything over and above that. So we'll challenge HMRC's approach, as I say, where we feel that's necessary to ensure that any additional liability is minimised, and the same would apply to any penalties that HMRC would seek to impose as well. So secondly, what's the value of the service offering? So the reality is that even if you keep good business records, you can still be selected for an inquiry by HMRC. The cost to deal with an inquiry can easily run into thousands of pounds, even where there's nothing amiss. That correspondence with HMRC can take time. The FSB policy covers you up to £100,000 of costs per claim, so there's no need to worry about that financial impact when you're having to deal with an inquiry with HMRC, which is really good. Most incidents are covered. There are obviously, it's insurance, there are certain exclusions, but if in doubt, always contact either us or FSB directly to clarify the position. The third point I want to make is free, and there isn't a catch to that. It's entirely free service. We'll also cover any reasonable costs for your accountant, if you have one, to supply any details and information that we may need from them during the course of the inquiry, such as accounts, prep work, and so on. Providing those are agreed in advance of the work being carried out, we'll happily cover those costs, so there's no issue there. If you are a VAT registered business, at the end of the inquiry, you'll get a VAT-only invoice. That's something that's required of us, by HMRC directly, but that's recoverable in your next VAT return. So ultimately, there isn't any net cost to you. So I go back to the point I made earlier, it's free. It's free in all ways. And in summary, when you're facing a tax investigation or a VAT dispute, it's really important to have the right support and assistance, when you're going through that process. And that's what we're confident that you get from Markel, my team, when you're dealing with that situation, and that's what you have access to via your FSB membership, which is really good and really important. So that covers off the benefit side, and I'm just keeping an eye on the time. Just very, very briefly on some topical stuff. There's been a lot of activity by HMRC in the last couple of years on research and development claims. It's been the hottest topic in HMRC's world from a compliance point of view. Now, on New Year's Eve, there was a facility launched by HMRC to allow any incorrect historic R&D claims to be disclosed to HMRC. Now, that doesn't mean anyone that's done an R&D claim in the past, has got a problem, but it has been an area of scrutiny for HMRC. And unfortunately, there have been a lot of third-party rogue providers in the sector who have been encouraging businesses, companies, and it's companies in particular it affects, to make those claims, which unfortunately haven't been ticking the right boxes when it comes to the tax relief available. So if it's something you're concerned about, my message to you is please reach out, get in touch, and we can discuss what your options are, with regard to that disclosure facility. Secondly, it was announced earlier on last year, we're in 2025 now, that HMRC will have 5,000 new compliance staff over the next 5 years. That process has started towards the end of the year. So it's fair to say we can expect to see a significant increase in HMRC's compliance activity in the coming years as a result of that, if I can get the words out. So it's really important that you have, some backup if indeed HMRC do come calling, even when there's nothing wrong. It's important just to have that support and assurance in that situation. Thirdly, this came out in the budget last year, which was towards the end of the year. HMRC, as you're probably aware, charge interest on late payment of tax and VAT. That rate of interest is going to increase from April. They already charge 2.5% above the base rate, and it's going up by a further 1.5 percentage points from April. So I'm sure everyone on the call pays their tax and VAT on time. But if you don't, you will have additional interest charges accruing, for any late payment moving forward from April. So it was just something I wanted to mention. And just very briefly, my last remark, Ness, and I'll hand back, is just to mention that FSB members do have access to our tax and VAT advice lines that are based here in the Rugby office where I am today. And that's something that's available Monday to Friday during office hours. That is separate from the work that I do and my team do in relation to investigations and VAT stuff, but we do work very closely with them. So if you have got any tax VAT issues that you want to discuss with an expert, please reach out to the guys on the advice lines as well. And with that, thank you very much for listening. Hope it's been useful. And I'll hand you back to Ness. Thank you.
Thank you very much, James. I think what I like about it the most is that you have got expert people to hand, people who are ex-HMRC staff at the other end of a phone. I recently had to have a phone HMRC regarding a personal tax issue. And I was on the phone queuing, waiting for about an hour and a half for them to answer, only to get a really grumpy chap on the other end of the line who wasn't very helpful and just kind of put the phone down on me. And I was a bit like, wow, you know. So to know that you've got somebody there that is going to talk to you and help you and give you that peace of mind if you do have a tax investigation coming, you know, which would be a real concern and worry. Or even if you've got some tax issues yourself that you just need to sort of get sorted, that is just fantastic. And it's free, all part of your membership.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, sometimes HMRC can be a very frustrating department to deal with.
Yes.
Lots of delays. There's been a transitional period that seems to have been going on for a number of years now. But sometimes just speaking to the right people who've got a bit more insight, knowledge, and the inner workings of the department is helpful and can steer you in the right direction.
Yeah, that is brilliant. Thank you very much, James.
No problem at all.
A few questions coming into the Q&A box already, but do add more as you think of them, and we will come to answer all of them at the end of the session. Okay, turning now to another one of our fab benefits, which is our insurance service, and Kate is going to tell you all about that.
Thank you, Ness. I need to remember that some of you are members and some of you aren't, so apologies if I cause any confusion, and let me know in the questions if I do cause any at all. FSB Insurance Service, as I mentioned earlier, was created in 2018, specifically by FSB, because there are so many members and small businesses out there who can struggle with the daunting prospect of making sure that they are covered correctly in the event of the worst scenario possible affecting their livelihood. So with most small businesses being directed to large call centres, buying online without advice, FSB thought it would be the perfect time to provide an FCA regulated commercial insurance advisory firm, try saying that quickly, designed to provide a more tailored service to its many diverse and often complex members. So FSB originally started off with a 30%, apologies, thanks Beth, forgot to mention the slides, thank you. If you want to slip on to the next one actually. So FSB started with a 30% stake, increasing that to 49% the year before last, having deemed the project a success, which I'm very pleased to say. And FSB is also limited by guarantee, so technically the members do own it as well. Thank you, Beth. So insurance is not a simple product to buy, and many firms, as I mentioned, are just as complex in their range of expertise as many larger businesses, sometimes even more. FSB has a very simple mantra for members looking for commercial insurance: to give advice so that members are properly covered, selling products which will deliver when called upon at a price which represents good value. It's vitally important to be covered correctly, having taken advice. Thank you. So this is how it works. So the setup is that we are so much more than just an insurance broker. We are a registration benefit. So what you need to do is, when you have signed up to be a member, or if you are looking to become a member, you need to register for the insurance service. So whether that is with a membership advisor, going online, or speaking to the Blackpool Contact Centre, you need to make sure that you register for the insurance service, because although we are owned by FSB, we do not get access to you straight away. It's a registration. And upon receiving that registration, it gives us permission to provide you with all of these registration benefits here on the right-hand side. So they can all be used by yourselves. Majority of them are free, or they start free, to give you guides, tools, and toolkits to use. And it's basically guidance to help you understand the complex world of commercial insurance. So just as a few examples, we've got the business continuity and planning toolkit. So that is in the event of a disaster and being unable to trade. We suffered an incident when we first started where we got flooded in our offices. and we were set up the next day in the hotel across the road's conference room with rented laptops, a strange Wi-Fi router sort of in the middle of us in a U shape. And we wouldn't have been able to do that without a plan of action. What would you do in the worst case scenario? And this was before COVID. None of us had remote working capabilities. And then you've got the advisory and consultancy service that you can use above that. And something that's so important at the moment is under insurance. We have got 3 different valuation tools for commercial properties. We have got a RAG set up, which gives you a red, amber or green based on your current sums insured. And due to the cost of labour, as well as materials, as well as professional fees increasing, this is something that we would definitely recommend is done every 3 years. We know that it can be pricey, so that is why we've also paired up to provide a desktop survey, which is £149. If the property is quite straightforward, and then if not, then if it's listed premises, for example, or quite quirky, then we've got additional services that can be provided. But we recommend valuation services to make sure you are adequately covered in the event of such as a flood, a fire, worst case scenario. So we've also got 10 free credit checks, which is really useful. I'll be honest, most members use them to check their own credit rating, but they're mainly there for if you were to get a new customer or a new wholesaler, new provider, it's a good way for you to just to check their credit rating, which also links into various services that we're able to provide in relation to invoice protection. So something recently introduced is single invoice insurance. Package insurance can be extremely expensive, into the thousands. So single invoice protection just allows you to deal with those new customers and allow you to gauge each risk as you see fit. So you becoming an FSB member need to register with us, and then once we provide you with the services and hopefully then provide you with an insurance policy, you would become a customer of ours. Thanks, Beth. In summary of how we did last year, not to blow our own trumpets, but we did quite well, I'm pleased to say. We grew by 20% in comparison to 2023, which is amazing. And we broke £2 million of new business premium. We retain 92% of renewals, which is amazing. We've got a net promoter score of 89%, which is world-class service. Over 50,000 members are now registered with us. With our small team based in Croydon, who are the telephone team. But if you are a little bit more complex and you do need a bit more hand-holding, we also do have remote staff as well, located closer to you potentially, and we're open for visits and doing a whole new policy review if you have been a bit static potentially and had the same policy roll on year. So between us all, we've taken 19,000 calls last year and provided advice to a significant number of those. To reiterate, you don't need to be a customer of ours to ask for advice. It can be about a policy that you have elsewhere, potentially about a policy that you might think you might need. We'd be happy to talk you through that and guide you where we can. Obviously, we would love to be able to assist you with quotations at the same time, but really it's the advice quality value piece. And considering we've grown in the last year with several new members of staff as well, I'm pleased to say that we continue to maintain a compliance audit of 90%. Which is quite unheard of. Thank you, Beth. And then, whilst FSBIS is still technically a newcomer to the insurance world, we are a multiple award winner and has achieved recognition in categories from Startup of the Year, Best Affinity Broker, Customer Champion, through to Diversity and Inclusion. And I myself sits on the British Insurance Brokers Association SME Advisory Board, and our CEO is on the Financial Conduct Authority Smaller Business Practitioners Panel. So we like to think we know what we're talking about, and we try to make sure that we've got suitable products and insurers that will be able to facilitate all of your quite diverse needs. If we can't find a solution ourselves, we do try to direct you in the right area. So we're very pleased to be nominated and have won the awards here. Thanks, Beth. And also we feel that we believe that our business benefits from taking time to do some good for other people as well. We pick a different charity to support each year, trying to prove that just because you're small doesn't mean you can't help. Last year's association with Lives Not Knives is a youth-led, dedicated charity preventing knife crime and empowering disadvantaged children. It's close to our heart, considering we're based in Croydon in South London. There's far too much sadness in the local boroughs, which is something that we strongly wanted to support, and we're pleased to have raised £15,000 for them in 2024, mainly for blessed Vicky and Duncan in the middle there, having completed a 47 kilometre South Coast Walk last year. So we're very proud of them and thank you for their work. And this year we're working with Dementia Carers Count, and our fundraising will be starting shortly, so you can see how that progresses on LinkedIn as well. So for those members, sorry, for who you are members already, please make sure you are registered. You can do that on the website or go to FSB Insurance Service. Sorry, thank you, Beth. Next page. And if you're not a member, you've got any questions, please do reach out to me and I'll try to assist. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Katie. As you say, it's quite complicated, isn't it? So people might have some questions, and you're happy to take any questions offline as well, are you? Would that be okay? Lovely, thank you. Brilliant. Yeah, and as you say, people have got to register, and it's only available for members. So if you're a member, it doesn't give you automatic, you just still have to register to access the service. But registration for that is free, isn't it? So yeah, and it opens up all those other things as well, like the contingency and continuity planning and stuff like that, which is really important. So lovely. Congratulations on your fabulous year last year.
Thank you very much.
And your achievements and your fundraising.
Thank you.
Hope 2025 is even better.
We're aiming on it.
Thank you ever so much, Katie.
Thank
It's
you.
really great. Well, I thought I'd tell you a little bit about what some of our members think about us, rather than just hearing from us all the time. I've put together a few slides of some of the reviews that we receive from Trustpilot. FSB is on Trustpilot, and we get some fantastic reviews. We're not perfect, nobody's perfect, so occasionally we'll get a review that might not be fantastic, but we deal with it. We deal with it immediately, we sort it out, and we get back. We've got a very, very good customer service team. And Beth's going to share the screen. So we are actually rated excellent on Trustpilot. And the reviews that I'm going to share with you today are really recent. So mostly from January, some of them from January. If you want to have a look at any of our reviews, you'll see the link below, and I will add that into your email when I send it out afterwards with the recording. Indeed, if you want to give us a review, please do. Good, bad, indifferent. We really love to hear from it, because that's how we learn and that's how we grow. But having said that, I'm going to share some amazing reviews that we've recently had, and these are from actual members. Okay, so peace of mind seems to be a really popular subject that people talk about and say that's what it gives us, you know, as a member. This was 13th of January, so it's only a couple of days ago. And as you can see, FSB has a wide diversity of benefits for members and direct line 24/7 support for various advice and services. Rajan is going to talk about that shortly. Knowing that this support, information, advice and various benefits, for example, access to the insurance, are there, has really put my mind at rest as I enter the business world for the first time. Being a member is going to be extremely useful. I've just been shown the range of support and services available as a member, and it's very useful. So whether you're a new member and you're just starting out, or whether you are an existing member, it's worth having a look at our website, because that's kept up to date and benefits do change. You might have been a member for 20 years and you might not realise that there's so many new benefits that you haven't accessed. Keeping an eye on our website and having a look through, getting in touch with your local person, your local development manager or your operational support team, just to ask for a little bit more information, and we are here to help you. So that's the first one. The next one is that there is a local point of contact, as I just mentioned, and this person seems to believe that we go above and beyond, which is great. Another very recent experience. FSB has been an absolute godsend to us since we joined in May of last year. Every single member of staff has been so very helpful and supportive, and I cannot praise them highly enough for everything they've done to support us. And that's what I say about our customer service team. We strive very hard to give you good customer service and to get back to you if we can't sort a problem out straight away. As well as having a personal point of contact for your geographical area, and Sam's going to talk about that shortly when he talks about what the development manager team do. They provide legal advice, a wide variety of policies, contracts and other documents as templates that you can use in many different areas. Rajan's going to talk about that aspect shortly. And we organise a number of networking opportunities, all of which is exactly what a small business needs. Again, Sam's going to mention a little bit about our networking opportunities. Really do go above and beyond, and we are very grateful. So thank you, FSB, and we are very grateful for that review. Next one, please, Beth. Help, support and advice. Somebody has said that they watched your budget webinar today and it was really helpful, a great panel, a great host, and we'll be watching it again on Catch Up and recommending that others do too. So we try to give you webinars that offer advice and support and help you on the various things and business stuff that comes up all the time. We have a hub where the webinars can be reviewed again. So they sit on the hub. So you know, if you miss the actual event, you can go to our hub, look up the video and watch it anytime you like. And this video from our Maximise Your Membership session will also go onto our hub shortly. So you'll be able to access it there as well as from your link. FSB's been a great help over the past year with some great advice. They've also held some positive and proactive events. I'd recommend them as a great place for help if you're a new business or a long-standing one. And the last one, I think, Beth. A little bit about our networking opportunities and events. And as I say, Sam's going to talk about this anyway shortly. Lots of people are aware of the tangible benefits, things like insurance, business support. However, what makes them a standout organisation for me is their support by introducing me to others, being there when I have a question and being people I can call on if I need help. That type of support is invaluable and I cannot recommend them enough. And I think for small businesses, having somebody to turn to, having someone on the end of the phone, somebody to talk to when you've got a problem, because most small businesses don't have an HR department or, you know, a team of people that they can turn to, but they have FSB. And in all those different areas, we are there for you. And this one says, a big thank you to the FSB team for organising such impactful and well-run events. I'll definitely be attending more in the future. And our events are, we have a range of in-person events up and down the country. Look out for our boot camps, which are coming up shortly. And these are taking place all over the country, so there will be one local to you. Look out for our other in-person events, which are often networking. Sometimes we meet with MPs and you have an opportunity to have a round table with MPs. And sometimes our events are online and available for anybody and virtual, anybody to sort of attend. So basically, that's just a few of the reviews. And as I say, people do think very highly of us. And if you've got anything you'd like to add, please do so. And that segues really nicely onto our development manager, Sam, who's going to talk about what development managers do and the local teams.
Thank you very much, Ness, and hello again to everybody. Yeah, I think we've already seen the amazing benefits that you've got if you're an FSB member, and they really are unparalleled in my experience, and I hope you're taking the most of them. But what you're also getting when you're an FSB member is you're part of the biggest and most successful business representation group in the country. We've been going 50 years this year, and we're very proudly a policy organisation as well. We fight on your behalf with all the people that can make a difference to businesses' life. We're out there influencing and trying to change the hearts and minds of the people that make decisions that affect every business's life. And that's both national and local. And local means that in our sense, my name is Sam Holiday, as you know, and I'm a development manager. And along with our operational support coordinators, people like Ness and Beth, our area leads and our volunteers, we feel like the boots on the ground in every part of the country. So I look after Bath, Bristol, Gloucestershire and South Gloucestershire, my little part of the Southwest. But wherever you are in the UK, there'll be somebody doing our roles. And we want you to tell us. We want you to tell us what your concerns are, what your issues are, because we then feed that back. So I'll meet people like council officers, council leaders, MPs, the media, people in education, in skills, all the different agencies that have a direct influence on business life. They come to us because they want to know what small businesses are thinking, what small businesses are worried about, and it's our job to communicate that. So we need to talk to you. we need to hear from you. We need you to tell us what the issues are that you want us to share with them, because we're taken very seriously. I mean, locally, you know, we do all our work here, but our national team is in Parliament. It's in Parliament today. It'll be in all the devolved nations, fighting your corner and fighting our corner. And they are very, very successful at doing so. If you think back to COVID, I know it seems a long time ago now, but we were the main business body that was consulted on virtually every aspect of business policy, including the furlough. And we got so much out of the government that really helped all our small businesses. We didn't win everything. They were very intransigent about the self-employed, for example, but we kept fighting that corner. And because we're the biggest, and because we're the best, and because we're the most influential, we get listened to. So it's so important that you tell us what your concerns are, that we can pass them on. And the way you do that is talking to people like the staff, you know, telling us what's going on so we can feed that back. But also, if you get emails from the FSB with surveys and reports and so forth, please take the time to feed them in, because trust me, we produce really detailed reports based on what people tell us. And it's that we use as change government policy. So please get involved if you can on that policy side. Please tell us what your worries are and we'll try and communicate them. So that's a big chunk of what we do. But we also, as Ness said, we get involved in a lot of events. And I particularly highlight networking, because networking is something that I think is absolutely invaluable for businesses to sort of broaden their business connection base, but also because what they don't tell you when you start a business very often is it can be a lonely affair. So we kind of bring people together to build trust and mutual relationships. And we do that mainly now through virtual networking, actually. I mean, we started that during COVID. There, I've mentioned the C word again. And we thought by now it probably would have lost its appeal, but it really hasn't. The event I run for Bath, Bristol, Gloucestershire and South Gloucestershire had its best attendance for 2 years last week. And, you know, it's because it's a lot easier for business owners to maybe tune in for an hour and then get back to doing their normal job than having to drive somewhere and park and worry about being out of the office for too long. So please take advantage of the networking that we do. Go onto our FSB events page and you'll see all the networking across all the country. And you don't just have to consign to your own local area. Say if you're in the Midlands and you think, I'd really like to start getting to know some businesses so I can sell to them in the north or in Scotland or in Wales, you can do so. You don't have any geographical restrictions when you're an FSB member. Find our events on our website, go and join them. And we do some very specific networking as well, rather than just geographical. So in 2 weeks' time, for example, I'll be hosting an event specifically for hospitality businesses. 2 days later, I'll be hosting an event for our disabled entrepreneurs. That's something I've been doing for 2 years now. It's my favourite hour of the month, because I think 1 in 4 small business owners have got some kind of physical or mental health condition, and we bring them together and we have such an inspiring group. It's amazing. So we do various other networking like that. So please take the time to have a look and see what's involved in not just our geographical networking, but other stuff as well. And as Ness said, we do other events as well. We have boot camps. We have a lot of external events as well. But we're also out there representing you at things like shows and expos and that. So if you do go to one, then please come and find us and speak to us. And but most of all, keep in contact with us. Follow us on social media. Nearly all the DMs and many of the OSCs have got their own contacts. Find all our links, which you'll find on the web page or on the emails that come through to you, and use us and follow us, because when we go and meet people like councils, they tell us all about the grants that they might have, their courses that they might have. So it's our job then to tell you. But if you don't know us, then we won't know you. So by all means, try and find us. And if you're struggling to find your DM, find me on LinkedIn, find my email address. I'll put you in connection with the right person. So we see ourselves as the bridge. I think I said that at the top. We're the bridge between the members and the people who can help our members' lives for the better. So by all means, use our incredible benefits package. It always amazes me how much you get in terms of your membership, but also use the fact that you're part of the biggest and best and most influential business group in the country. So it's great that you've able to join us today. And if you've got any questions at all about anything that we do locally or nationally or policy, then I'm happy to answer questions at the end or afterwards. But thank you, Ness. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks very much, Sam. Great, a lovely comprehensive guide to what you do and the local area and the field staff. And I think that local support on the ground is so important because you know the area, you know the problems and the issues, and you know who to go to try to get some help and support for people, for small businesses. And I think that we are the big voice of small businesses. And as you say, it can be quite isolating, and you know we are the bridge between that. So lovely. Thank you ever so much. I did promise earlier that Rajan would come back and show us a little bit more about the what's on our website, and Beth, over to Rajan.
Yeah. Thanks, Ness. Much appreciated. Let's just get this all joined up. There we go. Hopefully everyone can see that screen there. This is obviously the FSB website. For you to be joining in or actually using anything on this, you obviously have all of the lovely information that's there with all the information on all the different services and all the benefits we've got. If you are a member itself, what you want to be doing is looking at your dashboard, your legal hub, and so on. So if we start with your dashboard, the dashboard is there to remember what you do, remember what products you've used, what services. More importantly, with all the legal hub and all the documentation, it remembers that as well. So if I just take you first and foremost at the top here, you can see all the resources that you've got, all the needs and so on. And obviously, if I scroll down, you've actually got all of your individual benefits. Just remember that it's always one number or one email that you're sending for us, and we can actually direct you or get you to the person you need. So whether it's insurance, the legal hub advice, or it's a case that you're looking at business banking, legal protection, health and safety, or as mentioned today, the healthcare, you can see the products are there. Shows you a little bit of a snapshot of how much it is, what's included. But what it also does is it actually shows you how you sign up. So you've got it there, sign up to healthcare, and just the same with the others. If it's a case that they don't have a direct link, so for example, with this one, if I was to click it in, it would actually give me the option of going into the healthcare product. It'll give me more information about what it is that we're offering and how we can really go with it as well. If I take you back though, I take you back out of here and keep it onto the normal website. The main thing I wanted to really point out to everyone, and they may have forgotten or they're not really sure of, is it's not just a case that you can, go through us or come to us because you need, a specific service. You may want to speak to someone, but you may want to speak to them tomorrow. So we have an option on that site, which means that you can actually book a call. If you look at the top here, you've got book a call, and it'll ask you, what is it to do with employment, debt recovery, contracts? Is it one of my counterparts on this call? So, is it James's department and you want something to do with tax or VAT or whatever? But what it actually does is it allows you to book in a time. So for example, if I wanted to book it for tomorrow, I know I've got fully booked diary and I know I've got time at 11 o'clock. All I would do is exactly as it follows here, a little bit of information about what it is I want, what I want to deal with. That means that the person on the other end, when they receive this, can be ready, prepared when I'm obviously on the call with them. So that is really, really useful, I think. The other thing that I think is also really, really excellent on this is your library. So if I scroll down a bit here, you've got all of the contracts of employment and so on and so forth. Every time you go into one of these, it offers you what it is you want. Do you want to have a document, a DIY document? Do you want a policy? Do you want a form? Is it a case it's a notice? Or actually, is it a case you're looking at a how-to guide? So it breaks it down to you very, very easily. So you've got DIY documents, guides, videos, and useful information. Then underneath that, it's got all the policies that you would need as a business. So you've got acceptable there, anti-bribery, so on and so forth. So if you think of yourself as a business, this is where your compliancy comes in. This is where you would build your handbook and you're able to just download documents right the way through. Now, as I mentioned, as you download documents, it actually also puts them into your personal file as well. So that means that every time you go to your dashboard, it'll give you all of the information there. So you can see here everything that I've downloaded previously. So non-payment of rent, you know, if you're a landlord, contract of employment on a salaried basis or an hourly basis. All of these documents I've actually downloaded at some given point, and it even highlights to me what date I did that. The reason for it is basically if I'm using this once, chances are I'm going to need it again, or I'll need to go back to it to make sure that I'm doing everything correct. So it gives you a very quick action that you can get to it. And as I'm sure you all know, for example, if I wanted to download this document, I can just download it again. Doesn't stop me how many times I download it. And if we open it up, you will see that it's very, very intuitive. Everything in yellow is for you to have a highlight onto, i.e. you need to action it. Anything that's not is already set in stone. So if we look at this, a normal contract of employment, the name of the company, name of the employee, the job title, and all the basic stuff that you'd be looking at doing is in there. So the idea behind this is first and foremost, as and when legislation changes in Westminster, which is where I am today, that would instigate a change on all of these documents, and you as members will be notified that this has been updated or this has been changed or you need to replace it. But this website, this tool, this portal for you as a business owner is vital. We can't help unless you tell us. Yeah, we don't bombard you with 20, 30, 40 emails from all the service providers. What we wait for is for you as a member to tell us what you need. So if it is a case you need some legal advice, pick up the phone. If you're already in the portal, book a call. Really straightforward. All you need to do is let them know what your membership number and your name is, and obviously what the issue is. And within a 30-minute period, we will try and get that person back to you, whether that be a solicitor or a barrister or a lawyer, if it's on a legal advice side. If you're looking at doing something in regards to the healthcare, the training, it's all on the legal hub. It's all on that legal hub for you to actually work with. And it actually just makes it easier that it's in one place. What I will say is always remember, if you just want to go back, just go back to the first page, gives you your first basics, and then you've got your occupational health, your standard sort of services, and you can see how to use the site. Yeah. So it is really intuitive. It's kept as easy and straightforward as possible to make sure that you guys as a business owner can deal with what you need to deal with. I want to find out about GDPR. You could tap it in there, put it in, and it'll tell you everything that we have on GDPR, how-to guide, any kind of documentation you need, and any advice. If we have any videos on it, we'll even have them in there, and that's all free for you to download as well. I think that's a pretty decent walkthrough for the site. I think the takeaway for everyone is please remember these two bits up here, but this bit in particular, just book a call in. Make sure if you need to speak to us, it's not a factor that you just have to sit on the phone, unless it is something a here and now. If it's something that you just want personal advice on, what I would suggest is book a call through the system, get it put into the diary, you get a confirmation email that it will happen, and then you're able to jump online and get a phone call and all those questions answered. I hope that's been beneficial. As Sam said, if people want to reach out, I am on LinkedIn, Rajan Naran. And if it's a case that you're not a member and you'd like to speak to a membership advisor, then please do the same. Drop me a line. I will gladly put you in touch with the local membership advisor for your area. And that is what we do. We have self-employed business owners, which are membership advisors. They're all based locally, so they know your local area, they know your local towns, they know what's going on. And that is the other part where we join up with Sam and his team, and we try and make sure that members and non-members are given all the information they need, but then we can signpost them to either Sam or any of the service providers as and when needed. I hope that's been okay, and I hope it's been beneficial. And thanks again very much for your time this morning.
Thanks very much, Rajan. It's really useful. And I know it's a whistle-stop tour, really, because there is such a lot.
Yes.
So what I think the best thing for people to do is to have a look, log into the website, go into your dashboard and have a browse and have a look around and see what's on there, because there is such a lot on there. If you then find you're having an issue or you can't find what you want, get in touch. We're here to help you. But we can't cover everything in this 1 hour, unfortunately. We try to give you a taste of what's available to you, but obviously come back to us if there's stuff we haven't covered and you want to know more about. And I will send you an email with all the links and all the details of people to contact and so forth, along with the recording. We've got a very short time to go through some of the questions, and we've got a few questions, so we'll try to go through them as fast as we possibly can. Okay, so somebody is asking if they have a small trading company and want to add another family member as a director. Is there a quick how to do it guide?
Yep, the quickest way for them to do that is if they call customer services, give them the membership number for the main member, and give them information about the associate member. They can probably have it set up within 5 minutes. It's as easy as that.
Brilliant. Thank you very
If,
much.
however, I would just add, if they've had, if they signed up through a membership advisor or they have a relationship with a membership advisor, they can do it exactly the same, but they can do it in front of you. So whichever way, either call the help desk or call the membership advisor that you've been dealing with already.
Thank you very much. Does the healthcare include reimbursement of dental, optician fees, etc., to a certain level?
To a certain level, it does. It actually gives you free eye tests and dental care as well.
Okay.
But because it's part of, if you like, a partner business, once you actually get the information through, they'll be able to break down exactly what those levels are. But yes, they do give you preferential rates and obviously reductions on both healthcare and dental.
Lovely, thank you. Is there a video, or could we have a session that is a walk through the FSB platform and how to use it? Well, we've had a very brief run through just now. I feel overwhelmed by it. Yeah, there's such a lot on there. I understand that it's quite overwhelming. But have a look. Go onto the website, have a look through, and then give us a call. Give me a shout or anybody, and we'll walk through it with you. Very happy to do that. I will give you all my details, and I'm happy for anybody to contact me after this call. How do we add on the healthcare to our membership? We saw that it's just by clicking on the website, Rajan.
It is indeed. You're in your legal hub. You just click the button, and it will actually set it all up for you. Again, if you've got a membership advisor that you've been dealing with, they can get it help you get that set up. But theoretically, the legal hub is going to be your one-stop shop for all of that.
Lovely, thank you. Here's one for you, James. I'm an accountant, offer a tax investigation service to my clients. Would I be able to use the service on behalf of my clients, or would it be just for my business?
So in strictness, if they're an accountant who's an FSB member, then it's for them, in advice in relation to their business and their tax affairs. So it can't be used more widely for their clients. I mean, they could always encourage those clients to sign up, as FSB members to have the same access. So it depends how they want to do it, but no, it can't be used for the wider client base.
Thank you very much. Another one for you, James. Are you able to offer tax advice for family businesses, for example, changes of ownership and tax implications?
So we can. What I'd suggest there is that the initial point of contact would be the tax advice line. You could chat through what it is you're looking to do, and they could give details on implications of certain changes made within the business. If it's more bespoke tax planning, that's over and above what the advice line can offer, but we could still direct you to to the right people that can assist with that if that's needed. So general advice, we don't do planning on the advice line, but we can help with planning if that's what you need. So I would make the contact first of all. We would take it from there.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you. Is there a benefit for shared office space like Regis?
We don't currently have any kind of agreements with nationals. However, the membership advisors and the development team do have certain areas within their region. So I could mention a few areas within London that we have them, and a couple in the southwest where we get a preferential rate, but that's not an FSB wide. So there isn't an agreement with Regis or any other group at the moment, unfortunately.
Okay, thank you. I'm just moving quickly down to a couple for Katie, actually. Do you offer all types of insurance? Professional indemnity is our main one. And somebody else is also asking, does it stretch to personal services like travel?
Yeah, so we can definitely, it's generally commercial insurance. Professional indemnity was our top purchased product last year, so definitely give us a go if you're a member. Travel insurance we do. To be totally honest and transparent, we're not as competitive as you might find online or through the services that you might be able to access for your general holiday. If you were to have sort of business travel where you potentially might need to do some business elements, which might be a bit more than clerical, so maybe a few manual activities, or you've got anything that you're struggling with for travel, such as medical conditions, then that's something that we can help with. But to be honest, it's something that if it's for general holiday insurance, we probably wouldn't be able to compete. And that is why we don't advertise for private car, household, or single van, because it's the online aggregator sites that monopolise that market. We wouldn't be able to provide assistance in terms of competitiveness in that area. However, if you did want to have your business insurance with a couple of personal elements all combined and you weren't overly concerned about price, then appreciate that. And there's always something that we can do, and we'll try to house it all together where we can.
Okay, lovely. Thank you very much. Sorry, we are zipping through these because time's flying. Where do I find information on the supermarket cashback and discounts?
That would be through the healthcare. So you'd go onto the website, you would register on the Legal Hub for your interest on that, and they'll be able to break down to you all of the other benefits and discounts that are available with that.
Okay, thank you. Can you provide a link to register with Blackwall? I don't quite know what Blackwall is. Does anybody know what that is? Okay, I will look into that and I will get back to you. The person that made that question, and I will get back to you separately. Is advice actually free? I'm a member. I've tried to find advice before and been unable to speak to anyone without them saying it's chargeable.
So depending on what you're looking for in regards to the legal advice, the advice itself is definitely free. There is no chargeable for it. But you think you've got legal advice and you've got legal support. The legal support is where it would come in. So if it falls within what we have, then there's no chargeable, and the same with all the documentation. However, if there is a chargeable service, or if it's something that we don't do of the norm, if you like, then you still can have the service, but it'll be done at a preferential rate using market law. So it'll always be, without being rude, cheaper than going to your local solicitor for sure.
Right, great, thank you. Couple of questions that are related. Can we advise small businesses with subsidies overseas? And also, are we able to offer any guidance or advice on international trade matters?
So we're a UK membership only. So you will find anyone that's actually abroad will not even be able to access the FSB website. So it really is for business and business owners that are based in the UK. Sorry, Ness, what was the second question?
Subsidiaries overseas, that was one, and
Yeah.
guidance or advice on international trade matters.
So we can give advice in regards to European and international trade for sure. Just call the legal helpline and they'll be able to signpost you from there. Again, we'll be limited to what sort of documentation we'll have because, again, we're a UK, we're not a European business. So what we're trying to do is make sure, if you like, all our eggs are in our UK basket.
Okay, thank you. We've only got two more, and I'm sorry we're running out of time. I think, can your member benefit healthcare program be paid for by the company? I'm a single owner employee, limited company, and making sure I stay fit and healthy is important to me, of course.
Yep. Yep, absolutely. Also remember that your membership is tax deductible. So this membership that you have, you don't have to pay for. You can actually claim it back on the tax deduction on that. So with the Sorry, with the healthcare, yes, no problems at all. It's £39 per person, and it's a one-off payment, and we just get it set up. No problems.
Fantastic. And the last one is, I contacted the legal helpline last year for help on a contract dispute, but was told our membership only covered advice via a phone call. How do I get access to a lawyer when needed? Similar, I think, to the earlier question.
Exactly that. I mean, sometimes it is obviously very frustrating, or they're not as clear as they could be, but you can just call the legal helpline. If it's something that we don't do, they should offer you, and if not, just ask them, what's the payable service? Who would it be? How much would it be? And they'll be able to do that for you and actually give you a price as well.
And just one that's just come in, just really quickly, this is the last one. Do you offer any advice that isn't legal or tax related?
Well, we offer, those are the main causes of people calling up the helpline and so on and so forth. My advice is, this is it's a membership of entrepreneurs. So the chances are when you go to a networking event or even speak to a membership advisor, someone will have experience of it. And what we can do and what we do tend to do is actually recommend people. So we normally recommend a member to a member. So if someone's gone through it and someone else is having a problem, we try and join them up. But we don't give pure advice, for example, on maybe where the location should be or what product you should be selling and stuff like that. That's really down for the business owner themselves. We want to make sure that we keep you legal and we make sure that you're compliant. So those parts are the things that we cover pretty strongly.
Lovely, thank you. Anything to add to that, Sam, just before we go?
You're on mute, Sam.
Sorry, no, I don't think so. I think that covers it perfectly well. I mean, we're not here to advise you about your business. You know your business better than we do. We're here to make sure that your business is safe, it's secure, and you cover all the elements you do. But if in doubt, call us. And if we can help you, we'll tell you. If we can't help you, we'll tell you. But chances are it's always worth a call.
Exactly that.
Okay, well, thank you very much. Unfortunately, we have run out of time. I'm sorry we've gone over slightly. I do hope you found this session useful. I will send all the details out to you. Please give us any questions that you think of later. Please send them to me and I'll sort them out. And a big thank you to our team. And yeah, that's it. Hopefully we'll see you at networking or one of our events again soon. Bye, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Take care, everyone. Thanks again. Bye-bye.